Hello. Today we have the fabulous Lori Ruiz, who is a massage therapist who just completed her LMT Accelerator program. Yay, you made it. You did it. So today we're gonna just dive in and hear a little bit about your story. Actually, I'd love for us to kind of go back a little bit to the origin story. How long have you been a massage therapist? And did you work at a place before you became a solo therapist?
Yeah, so I have been a massage therapist for 2.5 years. I immediately went into my own business from massage school. I worked very briefly for about 6 months at a spa while also working for myself. And that was mainly just because the spa was really cool and I wanted to be there and it was a cool place to work. Um, Very quickly realized that working for myself made more sense. And before massage school, I was a manager of a wellness center. And that's kind of what brought me to massage school because I was considering becoming a part owner of the wellness center. And so the owner and I decided that I should go to massage school and learn. And so I kind of approached school with a business mindset from the very beginning. And then it was about halfway through school that I actually like fell in love with massage and wanted to do it. And then I realized that I did not align with the owner of the place I was working at and did not want to do things that I didn't believe in or stand behind. And so I wanted to create my own business.
Nice, nice. So, where were you before
Yeah.
you signed up for the LMT Accelerator program? Like, what did your business look like? How much were you making each month? Were you happy? Were you feeling challenges or struggles?
Um, I think it's like honestly, so much has changed in the last year. So much, my business has grown so much in the last 12 months. It's almost kind of hard to remember what it felt like just to be like a solo practitioner. But right before I had my first session, because I actually had my first session with you in Costa Rica,
hmm
because I was at the Costa Rica School of Massage doing training with Allison Denny. And I was at the point where I was making enough money, finally making money, um, starting to have a consistent clientele base. But I always knew from the get-go, I mean, before I even was in massage school, I knew um, I had the idea of running a practice with multiple therapists. It was never just, and that's why I named my business, and it named my business like Lori Reese LMT. I named it Western Colorado Therapeutics because I knew like from the very moment that I like went to massage school that I was planning on having some sort of practice um in my um in my hands, I guess. So it's really hard to remember, but I know my very first year I made $60,000, which for a first time massage therapist isn't terrible. But it
Right,
also wasn't really like sustainable. I'm a single mom of three kids, so like $60,000 doesn't really get you anywhere nowadays. Um,
right.
Especially in Colorado. So, um, so yeah,
I,
that's
I
where I was.
remember, yeah, I remember it was like around 7,000
Yeah,
something when
yeah,
right before you started the program. And I actually like that you were already at a place where you had a full clientele
yeah,
and you weren't trying to necessarily build your own practice as much anymore. You
yeah,
were at a point where you were ready to expand and start hiring,
yeah,
right?
yeah. And I think like one of the big things too was like, yes, I did have a full schedule, but I also was probably undercharging.
Mm-hmm.
Probably still am undercharging some people. Not probably. I know I am. But and so like that was like the first thing we worked on was pricing before hiring, I think.
Yep,
Um,
that's right.
Actually, I think I had hired someone right before you and I started too, but she started the week I was in Costa Rica and I started with you the week I was in Costa Rica.
That's right. That's right.
Um, so yeah.
We raised your rates.
Raised the rates, and that was terrifying. Mainly just because I thought I started my price. When I very first started, I started my massages were $90 an hour, I think is what we had. But then I also started memberships and that discounted them to about $75 an hour. And so I kind of thought maybe one or two people would sign up for a membership, but literally like every single person that came to see me signed up for a membership. And so then I was like, oh crap. So then I kind of had all these people locked into like a low rate coming back every month, which was great to have the consistent income. But that's like kind of where I was. Like that's kind of where my pricing structure was when you and I started working together. And I was like, I just didn't think everyone would want to sign up for something monthly. And then like literally every person did. So when I did that.
Yeah, so it was way more successful than you thought. I mean, did you
Yeah.
even have anyone drop off at all? I don't even remember.
No, I don't think
Right.
so. When we
When we
raised
ran.
prices, no.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So then you really started hiring and like kind of trying the process of like training and managing. So by the fall, I know you had at least two therapists, right?
Yeah, I think I actually had three. And every
Okay.
time I hire someone, I learn something new about like what to do and what not to do. It's been a massive experiment, I think. But yeah, no, I think I had three. Um, well, they kind of all fluctuate at different times of like someone leaves, someone comes in. So it's kind of hard to remember exactly, but it was like between two and three for a while.
And you only had one treatment room, just so it's not like you had
Yes.
multiple treatment rooms. We were really trying to max out one treatment room.
Yeah, my goal was to make $10,000 per treatment room before I would take on a new treatment room.
That's right.
Um, and honestly, I think we could do more like 15 per treatment room, really. And the
So,
goal is just to have the resources utilized to their fullest ability at all times
yes, yes.
before I
So,
would grow. Expand.
so the first 6 months were really, really fast, like you said. Basically, we raised your rates, you hired, and the numbers really like skyrocketed to the point where you had like a $19,000 month in December. Is that right?
I know.
That was wild. But a
Yeah,
lot of
it
that
wasn't
was
even,
certificates, right?
what was that?
The $19,000
What'd you
month.
say?
That was like a combination of the books being full and gift certificate sales in December.
Yeah, I think it was no, I think it was December or no, November. I can't remember which one.
Right,
Because no, I think I had 19 in November. It was like 19.6 in November, and then December was like 18.7, I think.
right.
Something close. So almost two $20,000 months.
Yeah.
And that was crazy because that was not on my bingo card. Like I was not, I wasn't even trying to do that much. It was like, I remember, wasn't my goal initially just to be like, if I could just get to 11,000.
Yes.
And then I was like, ah, and we kept having to make the goal bigger and bigger.
Yes, yes.
Um, yeah. And so that was kind of crazy just on my nervous system. It was like hard for me to like lots of panic attacks because I was just like, I don't, this is too much.
It was fast, I agree. And then
Yeah.
also you had some personal things you were going through in the winter that were, you don't have to mention it if you don't want to mention it,
Oh,
but
I don't care.
you know,
I broke up with my boyfriend
I mean, life
two
happens.
days before Christmas.
Yeah, that was intense for you. So the winter was like this intense moment where you're like your business is growing like wildfire, and then other things are sort of like falling apart.
Well,
Um,
and actually, remember too, I had the two studios. So I did have one treatment room in Grand Junction, but I had the other treatment room in Basalt, Colorado, which is a like close to Aspen for context. And I was a solo practitioner working in up in Aspen. Um, but I was doing like 14, so I drive 2 hours there every Monday And then at the end of the day, I drive 2 hours back. So I was doing like 14-hour days every Monday for a while. And then around Christmas time, I like broke up with my boyfriend. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. This is too much. I think I just got really overwhelmed with being split into two different places. I realized that was
Yeah.
so then we started building like kind of an exit plan for that second location because that second location I made awesome money there, but just like the toll it was taking on me physically and mentally and for my kids, it was just was too much. So that was a hard
Yeah.
band-aid to rip off, but like I knew that like I couldn't truly grow a practice if I was like torn between two places.
That's right. So then in the new year and these last 6 months has been getting out of basalt, expanding with the second treatment room, and now
Yeah.
filling these two treatment rooms with practitioners.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, so this next six or this so the first 6 months was like crazy insane growth. And then the last 6 months have been more preparing things so that I can actually grow in a more healthy way in the future. So it's been a lot of like ripping off bad systems that would not serve me because there was only so much growth I could do when I was maxed out, like totally maxed out. I was not able to focus on the business really at all.
right.
Um, so I ended up taking a pay cut because I stopped going to that studio, which I was making like about $5,000 a month just going there one day a week, which sounded so good, but it was just like wrecking me. So, um,
And then, well, then we raised your rates
yeah.
higher
Hmm.
than your staff rates. So
Yeah.
we were trying to make up for that
Yeah.
go of basalt by raising your rates too.
Yeah. So then we just changed my prices here in Grand Junction, which is not like an Aspeny environment at all. We just changed them to whatever I was charging in Aspen. Weirdly enough, like everyone pays it. So
Yep.
now I charge $150 an hour. And I still take on new clients. I stopped doing subscriptions or memberships or subscriptions. I still have a couple people that I'm like allowing to be grandfathered in on those memberships, but for the most part, I've stopped doing those. And I also decided, I remember at one point you're like, because I was like, I hate 90-minute massages, I hate 2 hours. I just want to do 30-minute and 60-minute sessions, and more like pain focused. And you're like, well, then if you're at the point, like if that's what you want to do, that's what you should do. So I
Mhm.
started doing what I actually wanted to do, and I had to let some clients like go see somebody on my team because they really wanted that 90-minute. And I was like, well, I'm not going to do it. So that was hard. But once I made the decision to do like what I actually enjoy doing, I feel like my work has gotten so much better, like the quality of work. So that also changed. And that's been really, it's been like the work-life balance has felt so much better.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you say in terms of the first part of the program versus the second part of the program you've learned as a staff owner? Like any, I guess, just takeaways from, do you feel more confident the second part of the program, hiring, managing, and training?
Definitely. Like I developed more of a like training or hiring protocol, more of a training protocol. I have a lot of like screening before I actually have somebody join our team. I give them lots of opportunity to show up late for an interview. I give them lots of opportunity to miss a call. Just because I think like in general, a lot of massage therapists are very flaky. And so I kind of give them that opportunity to show if they're going to be flaky, before they're actually like flake. I'd rather them be flaky in the beginning with like, because I almost do like 4 interviews, which is kind of intense, but I'd rather them be flaky on an interview and me know that before I put them on the floor with a client and have them be flaky with a client. So, and I've definitely just learned no tolerance for tardiness or, anything unprofessional. I had a therapist kiss a client on the forehead during a session. I'm just like, why? Um, And the things that you don't think you're gonna run into, you do, and it's just like but definitely like I think just the training and the setting the expectations up from the very beginning has been the biggest thing. I definitely now when I hire people, I tell them like in the interview, I'm like, we're gonna be like, this is what you're gonna be graded on. Like we're gonna and also when we do their onboarding, we sit down and schedule a time 90 days from that day to do a 90-day review. And that's kind of like if they aren't happy, they can voice their concerns. And then if I'm not happy, I can voice my concerns. But then I also that day we do onboarding, I'm saying like you need to have like 3 reviews before your 90-day review. You need to have like a 80 to 90% rebooking rate. Like there's no reason anyone that comes into our clinic is wanting to rebook. There's no reason not to rebook a client. And so like we have really high rebooking rates. Last year, I think we only had 4 clients that did not rebook out of the entire year.
Oh my gosh. That's
So
amazing.
like I'm like if you're not rebooking people, like you gotta go. So I've been very clear now on that. Just even in the first interview of like I'm looking for you to rebook. And then like also I try to leave like a door open for people to, if they want to work on something, like I'm a resource, like use me as a resource. We can work on stuff together. Um, Try to make it like more of an educational environment, like an environment for learning and career growth in general, just to expand skill set and stuff. I don't remember what your question was. I'm kind of rambling.
That's okay. Yeah, that's right. We're just talking about like what's it like to go from solo to a staff owner and some of the lessons you've learned, some of
Oh,
the
yeah.
yeah, what
And then
you're sharing.
I think another lesson that I've learned is just like you can't be their friend and you can't, it's easy to like want to be friends with people that feel like your peers. They're not your peers, you're their boss. And so it's like, I think with my first few hires, I was just like way too casual because I wanted to be a really cool place to work. But I actually realized that like being a really cool place to work, sometimes like people want boundaries and they want somebody to be the leader and they want somebody to be in charge. And then when you're too much of a friend, it's really hard to like be assertive or like correct things when you see them go wrong, or it just creates an environment like this lack of professionalism amongst the staff. And I feel like my casual attitude towards my staff made them way too casual with their clients,
Right.
and that did not translate well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a good lesson.
Yeah.
What are your numbers nowadays, like on average? I know you're still in the growth phase.
Yeah, they're kind of all over the place. There's definitely a lot of lessons that I've been learning with this, especially with staff, because once you get staff, the goal is to have numbers be less dependent on you and more on the staff. So anywhere between like $10,000 to $16,000 a month. And the reason it can fluctuate, like we actually had a really low month this month, and it's for things that I did not like foresee as a thing. I had a ton of my staff members request a lot of time off this month. And I had kind of counted on like, oh, when I have this many people working for me, this means I can make this much. And I didn't account for like people taking time off and stuff like that. And so this month hit us pretty hard, especially as I'm trying to work a little less so that I can work on the business more. Um, so this month was our like, kind of like our worst month in a long time. And that's really just because I didn't have the knowledge or the like, I guess the not procedures, what's the word I'm looking for? Policies in place for like requesting time off and how much time can you request off. And again, this comes back to me being a little too casual of like, anytime you want off, you can take off. Like that's the cool part about working for me. But now I see how that can be like kind of horrible if everyone takes the same amount of time, if everyone takes the month of June off, um,
Right.
then we don't really create as much revenue. So that's a lesson that I've been learning. But yeah, anywhere between it's usually about 12,000 to $16,000 is
Mm.
kind of where we're at. And we're trying to like stabilize that a little bit more. But as we get like new hires in or hire leaves, that fluctuates. But I think the amount of money that I bring in, just my personal self, is about $10,000. So you
Yep.
can really see how like how much like staff has taken off, you know. And so
Yeah.
yeah, so um but I think for me like that number kind of needs to stay there if I'm going to also be a boss. Like I can't just work nonstop and also be an effective leader. So
Mhm.
that's a pretty good number for me. And then I just need to make sure that I'm creating some policies to help protect that revenue.
So, just to put some context in here, most therapists never get to where you're at in the short period of time that you've even been a
Yeah.
massage therapist. Like, not even close.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Yeah.
So I know that I actually like that we're pulling the curtain behind, like, there's growth phases, and then this transition from solo to staff owner is like a really intense transition. Um,
Yeah.
and usually you talk to a staff owner that's got finally got their people that they can count on who want to work for them long term after like 3 to 5 years, sometimes
Yeah.
longer than that. So, I mean, I'm sure we'll check in with you like
Mhm.
6 months from now, and like it'll be a totally better situation as you like like you said, figure out the staff that like wants to work and make a consistent income.
Yeah.
And I know that you just added some new high ticket services or higher ticket services like
Yeah.
buccal and craniosacral, right?
Mhm. Yeah. I was always doing buccal, but I never advertised for it because I would just like throw it in if somebody needed it. And then I found out one of my clients was actually driving 4 hours away to get buccal done in Denver. And I was like, oh, like we just never had the conversation about it. For some reason, she never brought it up. And I was like, oh, I actually do that. And then it made me realize I was like, maybe I should market this as a specific service. And then so I did. I started marketing as a specific service, and I found out I was the only person in Grand Junction offering it anywhere close in a 4 hour radius. Um, and then I started getting booked for it for something I already do, but I just never had it as a listing.
Right.
And so that was kind of cool and
That is
crazy.
cool.
Yeah.
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 Can you tell us, I know like one strength of yours, like one of your many strengths is marketing. Can you
Mhm.
share a little bit about like how do you keep the books full for your staff and yourself? Is that like a challenge? Is that easy?
Well, sometimes it can be a challenge. Basically, my whole spiel is like I will bring them in the door the first time, and then your job is to keep them. Um, I don't require I actually don't want my staff to do any marketing because I'm OCD about it, and I want it to be very branded, very consistent. I don't want my staff to worry about that at all because I know I'm going to do a better job probably than they are. Um, that sounds conceited, but I used to be a social media manager and I just really know how to do marketing very efficiently and very like well. Um, and so I don't want them to worry about marketing at all. Um, we have a membership program and I will print pamphlets and I'll say like hand this to your client, if they're interested, hand this to them. Like that's the extent of the marketing that they're doing. But for me, the biggest thing with marketing is consistency. So I do know how to do marketing and I do know how to do it well, but I have hired a social media manager and I just created a brand book. I created very specific rules for how she would promote us. She doesn't always do it perfectly or how I would do it, but that's kind of the trade-off. Like you kind of have to give up some control sometimes because I knew as I grew, I wasn't going to be able to do that one thing that is so important for social media, which is consistency. So she posts 3 times a week. Um, and just continuously shows up over and over again. I always do professional photography. I've done one videography shoot and 2 professional photography shoots for my business, and that's it. And those are pretty much the same photographs I reuse over and over and over and over again. And then for content, for like reels and stuff, like we already have content that people are very interested in, which is massage. If they're interested in massage, like people see someone getting massaged, and that is awesome content. So any type of trade I ever do or training session, I always film it. And that's what I use for like video content. And you won't see a bunch of like every once in a while we'll film like a trend or something, we'll do some kind of like trend reel, but they don't really always perform very well. Okay, they may perform well in views, but I never look at views. I look at bookings always. So just because you're getting a lot of followers or views doesn't mean your social media is successful
Right.
if your goal is to fill appointments. So
Right.
I just look to see like how many, yeah, like how many people are clicking this link and actually booking an appointment, and that's how I grade success with social media. And yeah, I always tell people like just film yourself massaging. Like that is gold content. You don't have to do anything fun. You don't have to dance. You don't have to like speak on camera. Just film the massage. People are interested in that. So, and you're already doing it all day. So you might as well.
True, true. You've also run ads as well, right?
Yeah. Yes. And our ads are very successful. I think we gain like a lifetime client for every $60 we spend in meta ads. Um, I think there's a lot of meta ads that are not successful, and I've done a lot of very unsuccessful ad campaigns. But I created this one ad that was very specifically talking towards pain, people in pain. And that ad has always done great. And I always just run it when I need to fill the books, and it does great. And I haven't remade a new ad in a long time because that ad has been like tried and true and
Nice,
works when I need it to.
nice, nice. And now you're also just starting to get some Google clients, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That
So
was
I actually, when we had started working together, I actually took down my website because I was fully booked and I didn't need more clients.
right.
I was like, please stop coming to me because I was getting to the point where I was working too much. So I just like stopped paying for my website. I kind of let it expire. And then that kind of hurt my Google presence, which at the time I thought maybe I was okay with not hiring for a while. So I didn't really care because my books were full, and that was like the ultimate goal at the time.
Mhm.
And so it's taken me about a year to really get my Google back up and healthy. And now we are starting to get more Google traffic. I wish I would have never done that, but that's just like a dumb mistake I made at the time because I was just so overwhelmed by working too much.
Yeah,
Um, but now our Google's getting healthier, and we do have a lot of competition too. Like
yeah.
that's the thing with Colorado is like there's massage on like every street corner. Like literally there's so many massage therapists here. We have a massage school here in town. Like
Mhm.
it's very, very competitive. So, you literally can type in massage Grand Junction, Colorado and find like probably 20 pages of massage therapists.
Right.
So,
Right. Speaking of the massage school, is that how you've gotten some of your staff? Because
yes.
when you hire, it's like, where do you get these massage therapists?
Yeah, I'm on the board with the massage school. And they kind of know I talked with the director and I kind of let her know what I'm looking for. Sometimes she'll send me people that I'm like, why did you send them to me? Like they obviously are not my person. And I will let her know because I also want her to know like that this person might have a hard time finding a job, in the industry. And that's helpful information for her to know too, I think. So we just have a good relationship on like who she thinks would be a good fit here,
Mhm.
versus like my competitors. I actually send applicants to my competitors quite often because I'm like, you won't be happy here. You should go work over here. You'd like this place better because I know that it's so much more money, time, and energy for me to train someone and have them not work out than for them to just not even try here in
So
the
true.
beginning.
So
Yeah.
true. But you've also gotten some people who have been following you and just came straight to you. It didn't
Yes.
come through the massage school, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's happened too.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, okay, what's the vision moving forward from here?
Oh, I don't know. Like, so I'm kind of at, I always tell people, like, I kind of hit my 5 year plan at like year two. So it's like there's always been a plan to like, grow beyond that, but I'm like, oh. So I think for me, it's just really settling into being a staff owner. Eventually, I would like to create some courses. I'd love to be a CE teacher. More on like the business side, marketing side. I think marketing comes super easy to me, that sometimes it's hard for me to realize that it's such a struggle for other people. And I know that massage therapists really struggle with that, and I see it very clearly, very simply. And I think I could really help massage therapists learn how to like market themselves better. Um, so that's kind of been on we even started kind of creating a course early on, but then I just got way too busy.
Hmm.
Um, so that's kind of on the back burner. But I think as my staff gets a little stronger, I'll have more time to do more of that kind of stuff.
Great.
Um, yeah, I just want to have a small, really strong team and then teach it either in-person classes or online. I know everyone wants to do online. Um, but I love being in person. So I would prefer to do in-person teaching, but we'll see.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to say to just therapists as pearls of wisdom for anyone desiring to be more successful or grow in any way?
Yeah. It's funny because I'll have people ask me all the time. Sometimes people that are like looking to work with you will like message me and they'll be like, tell me what you did to get there. And I was like, there's not any one thing that I did. It was 1,000 tiny little adjustments we made constantly. So it's the like responding to a Google review. It's the consistency of doing it. It's not the doing it one time. It's the asking your client to leave you a review when they leave. It's the automatically assuming your client's going to read a book at the end of every session and having a time for them and say like, hey, I have 4 weeks from now, same time. Is that good for you? Great. It's just these little tweaks. It's not any like one big thing. It's just these little tweaks that are consistently happening all the time.
I
And
know.
so it's nice to have somebody like on your side that's kind of just reminding you of those things because it's very easy to get bogged down by the small picture, like the things that are right in front of your face. And then it's very easy to also get bogged down by the big picture. But it's kind of like all those little tiny baby steps in between that really get you there.
That was really well said, actually. Yeah, because there's 1,000 decisions that a business owner has to make. And I love that you said consistency. I mean, another one of your strengths on my end is that you are not afraid to work hard.
Yeah.
I never got any excuses from you, like, I don't want to work. I mean, when you were at a point where it was like very unhealthy, actually, we're like, we need to take care of your schedule a little better
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Everyone has their breaking point. I actually do like for everyone to kind of push themselves to see what is that line, and are you past the healthy line? And it is a little different for everybody, but I just never felt like you weren't willing to work hard, It's just like adjustments to work smarter and better.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that because you were super consistent, actually.
Yeah. Well, and I think I noticed when I was starting to work too much hands-on is when I was my phone. So like I'd be working on a client and then like messaging another client about a scheduling issue or something. And that was because I just did not have the time to like respond to everyone and to actually run the business. And that just felt awful. And I was just in the room way too much. I was doing way too much hands-on work. Um, doing 10-hour days. I don't think I'm ever gonna do 10 massage hours in a day ever again. That was dumb.
And now you have someone helping you with admin also, right?
Yeah, so I
Rose?
have a social media person, and then we just changed her title to operations manager.
Okay.
Um, I would say when you do want to hire staff, like that part is kind of essential, even if they're only working 5 hours a week. Having the support of an admin has been amazing. The amount of work we've been able to get done. But it's also like finding the right person. She's just really, really awesome. And I think once you find a really valuable staff member, you have to just do anything to like give them benefits, make them happy. We also have a benefit that anyone that works for us gets one, massage therapists included. They don't have to do a trade or anything. They get one 60-minute massage once a month. So, and I like doing that without like the trade thing because like sometimes you might want to be massaged by somebody, but they don't want to be massaged by you. You know, there's just like that. And
Yeah.
so I try to keep some fun incentives and stuff to make it a cool place to work. Yeah.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I really appreciate you sharing your story. I really hope it inspires therapists, and this is gonna live on YouTube. I hope you're okay with that.
Whatever. I just got out of the gym, so
So
that's why I'm like
okay.
super red.
Yes, Lori is also in great shape. She does take care of her body. So good job on
Mhm.
the self-care too.
Uh,
All right. Well, thanks again, and we'll be in touch.
yeah, thank you. Bye, Melinda.